like that. But what they were supposed to do, he wanted the perfect Aryan nation. And what that is the Atlantis people. That's why the blue hair, blue hair, shit. Them old blue hairs. Woo, they get you every time.
Loves the elderly.
The blue eyes and blonde hair is what he thought that the Aryan nation should look like. Even though he didn't look like that, he wanted his German people to be like that. So what they did was they set out, like Indiana Jones, in anything that he thought that he could get like any knowledge about. Like if they would see like ruins and they would be writing on them, they would make casts of them or they would take them. He eventually wanted a place to house all the art supposedly after the war, that it would be like as big as a city or whatever. He wanted everything, but this was all stuff that he had taken. One of the best things that he wanted was called the Ghent altarpiece. This thing was actually probably about, I think, 11 or 12 panels. This thing was humongous. It's been stolen like 6 times or whatever, but it was mostly by Hitler's people. And what it is said to be is actually a map of how to get to the Holy Grail. And this is something that Hitler wanted. So his people would always go and they would try to steal it. A lot of the people in the SS division were historians and stuff like that, and trying to preserve the Aryan nation and the German nation is what they kind of put it together. But anyway, this altarpiece, it was completed in 1432, and it had like all this cool stuff on it. But the lamb that was standing in the middle of it, of the altar bleeding, is what they thought was the Holy Grail. And in the center stands a heavenly field brimming with unique depicted figures around a sacrificed lamb representing of Christ, and all these things, to where he knew that this would lead him there. So he always had his people after it and stuff like that. But it was really cool because somebody actually went and stole the 11th piece. And when they stole it, then they were like, okay, he thought that one piece maybe would be a code for the rest of it. So they were always on the trail of trying to find that and stuff. I think he would call it the Armani Christi. Hitler believed that the possession of the Armani Christi would grant their own superpowers. Now, this is where it gets a little crazy, man. What they thought the instruments of Christ's passion was the crown of thorns, the Holy Grail, and the spear of destiny. These are the things he was looking for, man. These are some Hellboy, Indiana Jones shit right here. So he always was looking for superpowers, supernatural powers. They believed that he was giving his Nazi soldiers steroids, which, I mean, come on, people. People take that now to be an athlete and shit like that. They shrivel your balls. That's where he only had one. It just shriveled into the other one. That's what it was. Yeah. But he also, what they found was, they found coffins of famous dead German warriors, and they were hidden in a mine. And what they also found was plans to bring them back to life. He was going to Frankenstein a damn army, man.
Well, that's actually on a video game. Your husband played it and was talking about it.
Yeah.
That's actually one. So some crazy, if it's crazy, Hitler probably did it, for one. For two, another weird thing that was going on. Now, Stalin and Hitler were kind of like similar in ways, but I remember when I was watching like a historical type thing, like America was making fun of it. Like when you used to go back to the theaters and watch movies or whatever, then it would have the newsreel first, and it was making fun of Hitler, and then it was the Stalin. Stalin actually wanted to make a super army of apes to wipe us all out, which is kind of coincidental.
I can believe that.
Then we actually took an ape in space to try to beat him.
Which is like a big thing with him. Like his scientists, there's the very bad part of it, but then his scientists were outrageous. They were the top notch. This dude,
like Einstein was one of his scientists, right?
I don't know if he was one of his scientists.
It was like high up, like that smart type people. And
like then, the people that actually did the our rockets and stuff like that. Those were German rockets. Those were going into space. We were scared because the Russia. Living in the 80s, I understand this. It was the Cold War. I understand the fear for Russia, or those were our enemies. You know. But this actually, we wanted to rush and make sure that we beat them to going into outer space. We just wanted to make sure that we had that covered. So this is where I think a lot of this is fueled with how the war was cleaned up and how the paperclip actually details that they did, which I'll touch on in a minute. But Hitler had a whole, it was a paranormal research group. So essentially what we have now, as in all these little research groups, like ours is a research group, SOS. He had oh Lord help me people, Lord. Ananurbi, which literally means inheritance of the forefathers, which means that he had a paranormal research group. But could you imagine a paranormal research group with unlimited funds and ability to get anything you wanted? Could you imagine that? I mean, we could just go be like, give me 100 goats. We want to see if there's anything paranormal with these bitches. And they would give us 100 goats. Although I don't want no damn goats. I don't want it. They stink.
Keep a goat.
Yeah, they do. They keep, yes. Anyway, it was kind of cool. But what they used to do is they would even have races. Like they would have like one department would try to race against the other department to try to get these artifacts quicker. That would be kind of cool. It's like our own little Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty neat. This is just touching on some stuff like that, which is really, really cool. How much he really wanted. Some people believe he got the Spear of Destiny. Some believe that he got the Holy Grail. Will we ever know that? I'm not for sure. But that's pretty neat. He was always in the race for that. The thing is when they would go to certain parts, they would quarantine all of it. I mean, all of a sudden you would just be living somewhere and like Hitler's men would show up and just take something that was there. Sometimes people didn't even know that this was something that they found of use. But if they found use for it, they were going to come get it. And it all had to deal with the paranormal, which was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, you know, I love a good Yeti. I love me some UFOs, which I won't touch on, and I love me a good Yeti story. Do you know that his little paranormal research group they went to Tibet in search of the original uncorrupted Aryan race, which he believes that there was like an ice. Oh, Lord, this is really weird, but he believes, like, I guess in the ice area, it was like an ice portal kind of shit. I mean, and later on I'm going to talk about Antarctica, which is really cool. But they also had he was in search of the Yeti. He was going squatching. Are you going to add in? You're just going to be awed in all this?
I'm just awed. There's just, like, I don't know. I try to research something to, like, go in with you, and then you're on to the next subject. So keep on rolling.
I am because
Einstein was actually his scientist.
Was he? No, he came over here.
So. But it was scientists like that, and then we pardoned them, and then they worked for us.
That was the paperclip thing, and it wasn't really. I mean, they did horrific things, but then we would be like, "Hey, we could use you more, so we're gonna pardon you," and they would go back and stand trial, but never get anything, and then come back and be U.S. citizens, which was horrible. But he went to go look for the Yeti, the abominable snowman. Could you imagine being on that detail? I'd be like,
I wonder what his purpose was for Yeti.
Well, damn.
I was thinking maybe he would be like a cool war type thing, like the front line of Yetis.
Could you imagine?
I just feel like
I shit my
fuck
pants.
It, I'm done. We don't even have to fight. You win. And then just like Hitler behind like a marching Yetis. Like I just picture him white for some reason. Like like snow. Well, yeah, it's white.
Yeah, they're abominable snowmen, man.
And then one just carrying him with his little stance. I just feel like shit on it.
You should draw a picture of that. That's poetic. That really is.
It's running through my mind. I'm channeling Hitler. I gotta go do some art.
Okay. He went to Ethiopia and searched for the Ark of the Covenant. He went looking for the Holy Grail, Spear of Destiny. Did
you ever look for anything in like America? Do we just not have cool shit over here?
I don't know. Well, I mean, our country is not as old as all that.
Yeah, but he did like Indians a lot, I think. He said they were superior type race.
You mean Indians as in come from India?
No, yeah. I think it was Native Americans. That was Native Americans. I thought it was.
Let's go on and imagine it was Native Americans.
God,
you know what I'm saying? He went to Iceland and searched for the magical land of telepathic giants and fairies.
What the hell?
Right there, it went left on me. Okay, I'll be reading some of this Hitler stuff, but he did. He went looking
legit,
for.
And then they just let it all fall out. It's like a girdle. You're like, it looks good, and then the pot belly just pops out the bottom.
That's right. Right. But he thought they were telepathic giants and fairies called Thule. Thoo.
Why's it got a lisp on it?
Because I wanted to put a thoo.
Why didn't he go to Ireland? Ireland people believe in all kinds of crazy random shit.
He didn't want to go there. He wanted to go here. Which Hitler and most of the Nazis brass believed that was the place of the origin of the Aryans and was very real. So he was in search of all that. I would have been, not that I wanted to hurt anybody or anything like that, but damn, that would have been cool as shit to have been part of that. To have been part of his research. Be like,
I'll sit out on the fairy one. You go ahead.
Fairy one.
The fairy one.
I've been all in that Yeti. Now we need somebody to analyze that.
Well, if Hitler didn't find it, then how's anybody else going to find it? Because Hitler had a shitload of money.
Who says Hitler didn't?
Yeah, he's down there. Oh, Lord.
With them Yetis,
he's in it.
Yes.
Lord.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, he believed so much in this Aryan nation thing that it was really cool because what he did was he wanted to make his own. He wanted to make sure that he was all in search of that at all times. But at one point, the SS actually, they did have their paranormal research part, but they also wanted to make sure that their genes stayed really, really strong. So they had 5,000 women. I'm going to have to get in this in just a second. But they recruited all these women who were tall, blonde, blue-eyed, slender, had the perfect build. They brought them in because they wanted to start doing genetics, as in making these people look like a certain way and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Just think, everything that we've researched now, he has done back then. And I mean, that was just really cool. I just thought that was cool as crap, you know? But he also, he wanted to unlock stuff inside of us, like telekinesis, telepathy, and powers of flight. Now, could you imagine?
Really familiar. I can't remember. There was something.
Hellboy?
Maybe that is.
Yeah. But anyway, he believes that the Thule is Thule, so that's why I like a Thule, kind of like Mike Tyson. Yeah. He believed that the reason why they lost some of their powers, he believes some of their ancestors did come over here through their little portals. I tell you what, these conspiracy theories, but he lost due to the interbreeding with lesser races such as ourselves. This is like off of that damn.
This sounds like a damn movie. You sure you just didn't get like a?
No, man. Movie? What this is off of True Blood, and the fairies and the hell. Yes.
I mean,
yes,
this all sounds really familiar, and I feel like adding in, but then I'm like, no.
I wonder if that's where they got True Blood, some of their shit from, man.
Man, I guess if you're, I don't know. Another thing is, another characteristic, because I am like knee deep in child psychology stuff right now. His father was like a real tyrant. Like, people were like, he's an asshole when he retired, because he was well in his 50s and his mother was younger. So with that type of authoritarian type style, once you catch on hold of like one idea, or if you think this is the way it is, and you're more regimented, you follow the line. So if he really believed in this race, then he would have followed it till the end, probably.
And that's a characteristic of some of the people is they, in numerous things that we have researched, he just believed that this would show the people how much they wanted to survive and the German race to go on.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, his parents were really sickly and they passed away. That would breed into why he's so crazy about getting cancer or any of this other stuff. So that would breed into that. And then his father being authoritarian, that usually children like that go into military type thing. You're very obedient. You very follow the rules. You want to have something to prove your, importance
and stuff. Well, okay, so let's go on to one of my favorite subjects here lately that I believe we can pawn everything crazy off on. That be the UFO, right behind the Yeti and Sasquatch. The UFO. People want to know, if you have read anything about Hitler, you're going to put it right beside that UFO. Also, that they did the Bell theory, the Bell instrument.
That's the boat, right? Which one's the boat?
No, the Bell is something that's like crazy. They call it some have even said something about Philadelphia experiment, but the Bell is actually a motor, it's like what they do is they put this liquid inside of it, and it was like this motor that actually could rip through time and space and everything. I mean, that's some mean shit he was working on there. But as far as the UFOs, this is how they say it got sparked. 10 years before the Roswell crash over here in the U.S., there was also a crash of a UFO in Germany. And Hitler got wind of this, and